Okay, hey guys, I am back. I was just really like so emotional in that last video. Like I was so freaking emotional because I was like I think my adrenaline was like rushing, and I was watching this girl on YouTube, and she was talking about Paul Walker on her YouTube because she was reacting to the Wiz Khalifa and the Wiz Khalifa video called "See You Again," and she kind of made me cry because thinking about that, like she had me like crying and stuff thinking about that because they did a whole tribute to that to him on that song, and when I saw that, like that kind of almost made me tear up for a minute, like, and then when I was watching her reaction video, that just kind of like I just thought when seeing her breaking down crying like that made me cry because I was like, wow, like it's just so crazy, like in a short period of time, like that he will like it's just so crazy to me like that he really passed and stuff like and it's just like oh my god like and when I first heard about him passing I couldn't believe it like I really couldn't believe like that he passed but like because I don't think guys like I really like I don't know when uh, um but I know I did get an like from the news like from TMZ and all that like they sent me a notification about him passing away and stuff that he was in a fatal car accident and stuff like that and car crash and everything and I couldn't believe it like I was like oh my god I was like Paul Walker I was on Fast and Furious and I was like he was in that movie Into the Blue and Eight Below I was like I do recognize who he is because he was in the movie Takers and all that shit. And I was like, that's where I recognize him from. Because I was like, he was in the movie Takers. And when I seen his face, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, now I do recognize who he was. And I was like, because I seen the movie Takers like a bunch of times. I seen Takers like so many times. Like, Takers is one of my favorite movies because it's got some badass shit going in the movies and stuff. So, um, So, Takers was like when I first seen him in Takers, I was like, oh my god, like it was just crazy. Like he was just like so hot and everything. Like Takers is one of my favorite movies too. And Fast and the Furious, all the Fast and the Furious movies is my favorite. And because when I first seen Fast and the Furious, when they first came out with Fast and Furious, and I started watching it, like mostly all of them, like I start falling in love with the movies. Like it's so crazy, guys. Like because I know y'all big first Fast and Furious fanatics as well. Because I fell in love with that. I fell in love with Fast and Furious. Like that's like one of my that's like all of them is my favorite movies. Even though I didn't see the Fast Five, or the sixth or the seventh or eighth movie, but I just went to go. I was in New York on Tuesday with two of my girlfriends, two of my best friends that I went to high school with, and my mom and my best friend's dad was with us, and we went to the movies. And we went to go see the new Fast and Furious movie that just came out and whatnot. And we went to go see that. Wow, that shit was awesome. And and I like we didn't really get to see the whole entire ending because we had to leave early for our bus. So we really didn't get a chance to like really see the whole full ending of the movie because we had to leave like right near the middle of right in the beginning near the end where Dom was taking the son to the racing track to show where his dad was like racing at and stuff like that or where his dad died at and everything like that. So the one part that I didn't get a chance to see is when Brian, when they was at like when they was at the barbecue, they was barbecuing and stuff, and they was about to say grace and all this stuff, and then this blue car comes up, and we already know who drives a blue car, so it was Brian, so we already knew who drives a Nissan Skyline car like that, and I was like only one person drives that car, and that's Brian, and I was like they finally brought Brian back, huh? I was like I was like, I was like, I wonder how they did this. I wonder how they brought him back and stuff. And I was like, they must have used CGI for him or something to bring him back or whatever. But it was kind of good to see Brian, but even though they didn't show his face, like they didn't show him getting out the car or anything like that, or nothing like that. Like we didn't get to see his face, but we knew it was him. But we didn't get the chance to see him fully. Like we didn't get a chance to see him get out the car, or he didn't like. It was like a surprise to us. But when they make the next Fantastic, I mean not Fantastic, the next Fast and Furious movie, like when they make the next movie that comes out, like the Fast and Furious 10, when that comes out, whenever that's gonna be, if it's coming out next year or whatever, um, because I heard that Justin Lin said it was another Fast and Furious, another they making another Fast and Furious movie, so that might be coming out probably like next year or so. So I can't wait to see that. So I'm gonna be excited for to see that too, and I hope they show Brian this time and the next movie if he's gonna be in there. So I hope they show him this time and stuff. And because I know Mia was probably missing him like crazy, like since he really haven't like since Paul Walker been died, like but his character is not dead, but Paul Walker is dead, but his character's not. So I've been hearing like a lot of people saying like Brian O'Connor's not dead, he's still alive. But Paul Walker, the actor, is dead. And I was like, we already know Paul Walker, the actor, is dead. But we already know Paul is dead in real life. But Brian, his character is not dead. So he's still alive and everything. So I can't wait to see if they have. So when F10 comes out, I can't wait to see that because that's going to be a good movie. So I can't wait. If it comes out next year, which it probably will be coming out next year sometime. Next year, they start filming it or whatever. Then I can't wait to see that because I definitely want to see the next one that they're gonna have coming out. Um, but yeah, guys, I was so just emotional. Like I was just really, really emotional about this whole Paul Walker thing because that shit really got to me, and I don't really deal with death well at all. Like I don't do funerals well at all. I'm just not that type of person that deals with death well because when I went to my uncle's funeral, I didn't deal with that shit too well. Like I didn't deal with that stuff way too well at all, guys. And I am a bit of a crybaby because I don't deal with death that well because I don't deal with death at all. Like I don't deal with that shit way too. Like if y'all know, like I'm just like you guys. Like whoever don't deal with death, whoever doesn't deal with death as well as I do, like I do, like you know where I'm coming from. Cause I know some of y'all like probably gonna be, seeing this and thinking like, oh, that it's like you, like girl, don't worry about it. Like we all had the moments that we cry. We have all have crying moments and all. And I'm like, and I appreciate y'all for that. And I was just like so emotional because I mean, think about my two uncles that passed away, and just like I said in the last video, because I was so emotional, like I couldn't even, you know, and stuff. But I wanted to apologize to you guys because for me getting emotional, even though I shouldn't apologize because how emotional I was and all that stuff. But I really did not want you guys to see me like that because usually I don't like crying in front of people. So usually, like sometimes, like I'll usually cry by myself and I'll be like in the corner crying by myself and all that stuff. But usually I don't like crying in front of people and stuff. And people just be coming up to me like, "Yeah, like you okay? Like you alright or something like that?" And I was like, "I'll be fine." Like because I am a bit of a crybaby. Like I can be a crybaby, and I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Like I could be a crybaby, like certain people can be. Like there's other people out here that's crybabies too, guys. So don't judge. Don't judge me, and don't judge anybody else that's out there that's a crybaby because I only cry about certain things. Like the only time I will cry about something is like if something like if like a loved one or a family member passed away in my family or something like that or anything that's to that nature. Like it's just mostly like about that. Like if it's about death, like that's the only time I cry with someone that I'm real close to. then yeah, I will start crying and I will miss them. Like two people that I really love the most, like two people that I love the most, like passed away. Like my uncle, he just passed away. He had pancreatic cancer, and my other uncle that lived in Baltimore, he passed away and he died in his sleep. So that's why I was so emotional because about that, and I couldn't even stop thinking about because that just popped up in my head. And now when I seen that girl crying on YouTube, and I was on that girl's YouTube channel, and I seen her having a mental breakdown like that, I just kind of like was like, damn, like I kind of feel bad. I just feel bad for her because that just kind of brought me back to certain memories and stuff like that. So I just wanted to tell you guys that, and but especially like I was mostly crying about Paul and Chad and Kobe and all that, like Black Mamba. Like I was just like crying about them three guys because them three guys was like legends to me, and I just like felt so emotional. And because I know Kobe was everybody's favorite basketball player. Like I know like Kobe was everybody's favorite basketball player. Paul was like everybody's favorite actor. Just like how I was a fan of Paul. Like even though I didn't really know who he was because when I first seen Takers, um, I didn't really know who he was. Like certain actors, guys, like don't judge me because certain actors like when I seen a certain type of actor playing in a certain movie, and I first see their face, and I'm like I don't know who this person is, and I just be looking at the names, and I'm like oh this Paul Walker, blah blah. I didn't know who he was, and I was like when I seen Fast and the Furious, when I seen him in the Fast and the Furious movies, then that's when I was like oh okay now I know who he is, and I was like he's pretty cute, like he's a white boy, so cute and everything, so it's just so crazy. Like I just got emotional because of that because even though I never met him and I never met him, never, nothing like that. Like I only seen his movies and stuff. That's the only thing I see. I never met him. Like I know most of us probably never met him before. Probably some of y'all have. Some of y'all probably didn't. Most of y'all probably didn't. Some of y'all probably did meet him. Who knows? But I wanted to get a chance to meet him too because he seemed like a down to earth guy or whatever. But I know people was like kind of pissed and sad that they never got a chance to meet him and stuff because I know people wanted to get to meet him before he passed away, before he died. I know people wanted to, meet him and all that stuff. And yeah, guys, I was just telling you, like in my last video, I was so sorry I was emotional like that because I was just like it was just bringing back some memories and stuff like that, like me losing loved ones and all that, like everybody else is, like everybody losing loved ones and stuff like that. Like with me, I don't deal with death well at all. Like I really don't deal with death well in my family at all. And because we had a funeral for my uncle, we had a funeral for my uncle like not too long ago. So like it was like way back in I think May or whatever or March that we had a funeral for him. Yeah, I think this was like way back in March or something or May or whatever. And so that kind of just like took me to another whole nother toll. So I just wanted to come to you guys and let you know about that because it just this stuff death gets to me like that. So I would just start crying and stuff like that because I got so emotional and everything like that. So, but anyway, rest in peace to Paul Walker. Rest in peace to PW. Rest in peace to CB. And rest in peace to KB because it was like y'all guys are just missed.